Oh my god, this is kind of awkward. Not gonna lie, this is kind of awkward.
Hello everyone, how are we doing? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're not just joining me for the very first time, you may wonder, Amy, where is that really ugly picture of the plant? I'm actually in the process of redecorating the place, so this wall will in fact be painted and there will be a new picture. The flower that once stood there will be something else in its place and the wall's going to be a little bit different. I feel like this change might actually be a good one because Lord only knows that, this whole place needs a complete makeover. Apologies for anyone who liked the wall or liked the painting. Probably not that many of you, but I apologize nonetheless.
I was literally taking all of it, filming it, and then just putting it in the trash. So I am sorry if you got that impression, because that is not what I was doing.
So what I actually wanted to talk to you guys about was TikTok. You know, TikTok went down for the Americans. It went away. It's now come back. No one really knew what was going on. I won't lie, I was actually a bit upset. And I tell you the reasoning why. My For You page is primarily Americans. I do get asked occasionally by some people, why don't you make British content? I've spoken about British content, some British TikTokers, some British YouTubers. I have done that, but predominantly my whole FYP is Americans. When they went, it felt a little bit quiet, and I was a little bit upset because I've grown quite fond of a fair few American content creators who I find funny. Not even that they're controversial, but I felt really sad because I don't use Instagram and I'm not going on Facebook. Next thing I knew, I woke up and Americans had started flooding back to TikTok. So I was a little bit happy about it. But what I did notice is that ever since they all came back, floodgates opened, and all of these influencers or these TikTokers that had built their platforms off of a certain thing, whether that be mukbangs or fitness or, you know, aspirational content. We're doing that trend where the voiceover is Peter Griffin from Family Guy.
We're all gonna die. There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
What?
Did not care for The Godfather.
How can you even say that, Dad?
Didn't like it.
They were all admitting to something that they didn't want to do, but now that TikTok's going, they're going to admit to it. And some of them were like fairly harmless, and then other ones were kind of career ending. Surely enough, 12 hours later, they come crawling back and they have to address the millions of people who are asking them, like, what do you mean you faked your workouts? What do you mean you've got a BBL? What do you mean you didn't eat all the food?
I feel like this one has been very misconstrued, and it really breaks my heart because there's been nothing that's ever been more important to me than advocating for having a healthy relationship with your body.
I think I've got about 4 that I'm aware of that I just want to talk about because we have some sort of feedback from them. This is by no means all of them by any stretch of the imagination, but I can't go through them all. But if you are aware of this trend and you have a personal favorite who came back and like is trying to get over the bombshell that they dropped, please let me know, like talk about it in the comments. By the way, I didn't even necessarily know of any of these people before they popped up on my screen, so just bear that one in mind. I'm just going to roughly go through it. Influencer called Kaeli Mae, I think that's how you say her name, and she's one of those like aspirational day in the life TikTokers, you know what I mean, like those influencers. She is one of them. Everything is so smooth. She went viral for a little bit for doing these ice cube trays, which I did actually see, I just didn't know the person. She's making ice trays look sexy. I will say this. There's something like appealing about just the assortment and the different kinds and how elegant and graceful it looks. Like it scratches an itch in my brain. There is no way in hell A, I have the time to do this, or B, care enough to do this. Okay, so I'm not going to do it, but I think because I'm not going to do it, watching someone else do it, I'm like, oh, I kind of like watching this, but am I going to do that? Absolutely not. She admitted to the fact that she doesn't use those ice cubes. She doesn't use the ice trays and predicted TikTok went wild and people were like, what the hell are you doing with all these ice trays? Are you just chucking them out? Like, what is going on? Because they weren't just ice cubes. They had infusions, they had cut up bits of whatever. Like, they were very fancy looking ices. But the thing is that she went out of her way to buy all of these molds to make all of these different variations of ice. Like, ice. Do you know what I mean? Like, that, it's kind of genius if you think about it, because it's very cost efficient considering what she's doing. It's not like she's gone out there and spent like thousands and thousands on bags and then, you know, do whatever, or she spent thousands on a wardrobe. No, she went out there, bought the molds, and then ice. I kind of think that that's genius. But anyway, so she then came back on and she was trying to rebuttal it, and she was like, actually, when my mum comes round, we give her ice. Can you imagine? Like, hey mum, haven't seen you in a couple of weeks, do you want some ice?
A lot of people took that as I literally like made all that and then immediately put it in the trash. That is not what happened. I just didn't personally use them in like my water or anything. I'm just not an ice person. My stepmom, for example, loved the cucumber mint ones, so I always made sure to make that in every single batch. And when our friends would come over on the weekends, you know, like before going out, we would all put them in our cocktails. Like, even I did put the pomegranate rosemary. I put the pomegranate rosemary one. But anyway, that's why I had them, because people still use them. I just didn't use them daily in like my ice water.
Deceiving the audience. Yeah, because she's not really using it, and apparently she doesn't really like ice. But do you know what I mean? I feel like it's just ice. I feel like if people signed up to your content and they discovered that you're not using the ice, and, you know, in a way, and this is because I have no affiliation with this person whatsoever. I don't know her. I just know her as Ice Lady. She was giving inspiration to other people. Anyway, she has been lying about that ice, so... The next one who came across my FYP was someone called Baby Dumpling. I hate mukbangs. I can't stand them. I hate slurping and eating food. I don't like, obviously I love eating food. I don't like watching other people eat food. Leave the mukbang, I can't remember what the actual term means. I think it was created initially in South Korea so that people could feel like they've got a friend to sit and go on video chat with and eat food at the same time. I think. If that's right, I'm going to put up the exact definition over here. It once had wholesome beginnings, I suppose, but now it's just become this cesspool of people stuffing like large amounts of noodles into their mouths. It's not just noodles, by the way. I'm just trying to think of the most grotesque thing that I hate watching people eat, and the slurping of the noodles is definitely one of them for me. Baby Dumpling came on and she basically said, I don't eat all the food.
We're all gonna die. There's one more secret I feel I have to share with you. I did not care for The Godfather.
Now, Baby Dumpling is a channel where she consumes a lot of food. For example, this is just like one that she pinned that I'll show you. So that is a lot of sushi. That is an insane amount of sushi. I love sushi. You may love sushi. No one needs to eat that much sushi. So, you know, already it's kind of skeptical. It's like, you know, some people can eat an insane amount of food, and people kind of suspect from mukbangers or mukbangers that they're not actually eating it, that they're actually spitting it out in between takes. And I know all of this through watching a lot of Amberlynn Reid and Nick Avocado back in the day, so this is the only reason why I know this. Oh, I never used to watch Nick because he was eating, by the way. I used to watch it for the drama, but this was years ago, so don't get it twisted. People were like, what the hell? You had the fitness bros who were like, I told you all that that is scientifically impossible. She then comes back on and she tries to backtrack hard, and I actually thought she was joking when she came back.
Hi, my dumplings. I thought it was obvious that it was a joke. I promise I eat all the food. I literally post uncut videos. This is so awkward. It's like telling someone a joke and the joke doesn't land, or like no one thought it was a joke. I eat all the food. Everyone's gonna think I'm retracting because the ban got lifted, but I actually plan on making a follow-up video right after. I just got like immediately drunk and went to the bars and like kind of forgot about the whole thing. I woke up, the ban got lifted, so I never even experienced the ban on TikTok. The TikTok ban really put things into perspective, so I'm gonna be cranking up the content. I'm gonna be on YouTube, Snapchat, Instagram, OnlyFans. Kidding. Everyone that defends my honor and defends me and believes in me and believes I eat all the food, I promise you I was just joking, and I love every single person that defends me my friends, family, and my followers. I love you guys, my dumplings. I'm not gonna get into it. I'll make another video maybe about it one day, how TikTok really changed my life.
I don't actually think that's a joke. I don't personally think that she is eating all of that food, just as I don't think that a lot of people are eating that food.
I was doing these workouts, but I was not doing them the whole time that I was filming them.
We've then got a fitness influencer called Lexi Hidalgo. Anyway, we've got her right up here. She started off on the app doing a lot of workouts and eating, and this is blah, blah, blah. She did a lot of coffee mornings, where she would also in the earlier days do a lot of fitness motivation, etc., and do workouts. Now, what she admitted to in the very first bit was her saying, I don't drink the coffee, and underneath it says, I only do half of the workouts. It caused up a massive stir, because she wasn't the only one who came out and said, I don't actually do the workouts that I post, these fitness girlies. She's not the only one, but she is the most prominent one that has come out, but there have been other ones, and it sent the whole fitness community in an absolute spiral. She comes back and she justifies it by saying, the coffee thing, I didn't like it because the coffee was too sweet or something, but now she'll drink some coffee. I don't know. I feel like the coffee thing is kind of a moot point, but it just depends how you feel, because I feel like everyone's reactions to these confessions are very different to each other. But the workout thing, she says that when she first started, she used to record and do inspirational at-home workouts, but then she says that she'll record it, but then she won't do it again, or she only actually does half of the workouts that she's promoting to other people.
To be completely honest with you, I haven't even been able to work through my thoughts, and I don't even know what I'm feeling. But there's a lot of things that are like circulating right now, things that I've said and things that, other people are taking that I've said and making them into something completely different, and it's just my emotions are confused and I'm confused. I posted a TikTok saying to that trending sound that's like exposing a secret, and I thought it would be really niche and really funny for me to like date back to my very beginning TikTok days 5 years ago when I first started posting on this app. I would do these things called coffee talks, where I would make a coffee for 60 seconds and I would give advice, and the coffee would be like super sweet, super elaborate. I would put foams and syrups, and they were great. I personally don't love sweet coffee, so those coffees were always for either my best friend or my mom or somebody in my house. Like, no coffee ever went to waste. The other thing that I said was I only did like half the workouts that I posted. And I want to clarify, because I feel like this one has been very misconstrued, and it really breaks my heart, because there's been nothing that's ever been more important to me than advocating for having a healthy relationship with your body and with standards and everything of that sort. When I said that, I want you to know that this was also 4.5 years ago when I was first posting on this app. I was posting at-home workout inspo all the time. Like, it was so fun for me to make videos. I was doing these workouts, but I was not doing them the whole time that I was filming them. As I was filming these videos, I wasn't doing the whole workout and then editing the footage. I was just making the videos, and sometimes batch making the videos and doing the workouts at later dates. They were still workouts that I created, that I wanted to share, never with the intent of saying, if you want to look like me, do this. That was never my wording, that was never my messaging, and I truly believe that anybody who's been here since the beginning of those will understand that, and also see completely how saying something like that can be like, what do you mean? What do you mean that was all fake? Like, how are you going to say that you're this person and then you're going to fake everything that you do?
Now, I'm very split about this, because I don't know if you know, but I am a certified personal trainer. I've got many different qualifications within that I can teach. And I also used to do group fitness as well as one-to-one. And I also went to university in sport and exercise science. I occasionally will bring this up because I'm like, I could have been something. But yeah, here we are. Here I am chatting on YouTube to you reprobates. Now, I don't know if she's a personal trainer. I don't even know if she's got enough knowledge to be able to guide other people on what to do. I feel like there was a huge influx back in like 2017 to 2019, maybe 2020, where you had lots of people who didn't actually have any credentials trying to teach other people how to do things, and even going so far as to sell workout programs. And I remember this used to drive me up the wall. This used to drive me insane. I used to get so annoyed by this, because I was like, why am I going to university and why have I got these credentials if they can just come on and they can just do whatever they want? It used to rile me up. she might have been claiming, hey, do this and this will give you this result, when actually she is not doing that workout. So if that is what she's doing, or that is what she had been doing, then of course that is wrong. But if she's just posting, you know, hey guys, this is just a quick workout I just threw together, let's work out together. If it's like that, then I can understand her point of view. But if she's saying it in a do this and you'll get this and da 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 da, when actually she doesn't even do that, that is bad. That's just my own thoughts and feelings. Following on with the fitness trend, although I think this lady is actually a certified personal trainer. So anyway, her name is Sky Sutton. And Sky Sutton has been used almost as the poster woman, as the, hey, she's got a BBL and she admitted to having a BBL. And actually other influencers have come out since and said, yeah, I got liposuction, or yeah, I had a BBL, or yeah, I had different procedures on their body, when they are trying to get other people to buy programs or do certain workouts, which either they don't do, or people are never going to look like that because they've had cosmetic procedures. What I will say is that with Sky, she did actually get in a lot of hot water for this not even that long ago, which I don't think people are necessarily seeing. And if I hadn't have gone to her page and then her YouTube, I wouldn't have known that she's already addressed this. So people are coming for her saying, you know, how dare you do this because you've got a BBL, which pretty much most of the videos on her feed of her in this position, very clearly showing off her bum, which a lot of influencers do. She has had some sort of procedure, but she'd admitted to this ages ago. And funnily enough, when all of this started coming out, she pinned that video where she's talking about it.
A bit of backstory. In my teenage years, I struggled heavily with self-confidence and body image. I was very uncomfortable in my own skin and very, very harsh critic on the way I looked. I compared myself to those that I saw online, and yeah, just got in a really, really nasty headspace where I wasn't very kind to myself. And I only valued myself based on, I guess, what I looked like. And during COVID, I made a lot of money very, very quickly and decided to make a very impulsive and uneducated decision to get a BBL. And I've hesitated to use the word BBL in some of my posts because I know when I hear the word BBL, I think like, you know, Kardashian, like really big transformation. For me, that was not the case. I had fat removed from various parts of my body and placed on the outer glute, like hip dip region, to try and give myself more like rounder shape, slimmer waist, bigger hips kind of vibe, because that's what I thought was going to fix all the problems and make me happy. Evidently it didn't work. So when the swelling went down 2 to 3 months after the surgery, I discovered that majority of the fat cells didn't survive, and the fat cells that did survive shrunk back to their normal size. And because I'm naturally quite slim and skinny, there was really no noticeable difference. So I was absolutely devastated that I'd put myself through so much for really no results. So whilst I'm not very proud of the decisions I made leading up until this point, I'm so proud of the decisions moving forward.
Don't know the law behind this particularly. Was she found out? Were people questioning it and then she brought it up? Because it sounds like in the video that I just showed, it sounds like people have been dragging her for it and then she just confessed. So for her, yeah, we already knew that she'd had cosmetic procedure, but if you didn't know that she'd made those videos, you would have thought she was just saying it for the very first time. That has sparked off a train ride of many different fitness influencers coming out and saying that they've had all these different surgeries. And of course, just like the lady who we were just talking about, who didn't actually do their workouts, it sends fitness TikTok into an absolute spiral. To be completely honest, I spent so much of my formative years... Where did that word even just come from? I'm not even 30 yet. Oh my gosh. I spent so much of my life between the age of about 16 all the way up to, I'd say about 25, just absorbing a lot of fitness content. You know, it was on YouTube and Instagram, and then it was TikTok. I don't follow any fitness influencer. I don't follow any dietary person, just because I find that even though some of the information is brilliant, and if it pops up on my FYP, I'll give it a watch. But as soon as I let TikTok algorithm know that I want to see that kind of content, I just find that a lot of the people who post that kind of content or critique that kind of content can be really nasty, and it just sends me into it sends my delicate little brain into a bit of a spiral. Don't mean to say that all of the content is bad, because that is not it. It's just that when you do have people who are particularly mean and malicious about what other people look like, or just generally, or you have people that are showing very strong signs of having, you know, an eating disorder or body dysmorphia, it takes me back to that kind of bad place in my life. So I try and veer well away from it. Doesn't mean to say that you can't find really good fitness content creators. I think it's Natasha Ocean or Oceana. I'm never quite sure, because she has a little accent on her name. But she has just quit. She's literally quit. Like, I loved her. She, hands down, was the best fitness influencer ever. I forget, I once commented on one of her videos. This was before I even had a channel. And I remember she once replied, and I was like starstruck. It was like watching a celebrity. But she's lovely, but she's actually quit uploading onto her YouTube channel, but she's the only one I would still watch nowadays. There are some good ones, it's just that I mostly get shown the awful ones. This video has taken a complete derailment, but moral of the story, do not trust anything you see on the internet. Don't do it. People will do all sorts of stuff just to go viral, or they'll do it once and then realize that that gets a lot of views and just carry on doing it, which, if you want to make money on this app, that is generally what is recommended you do, whether that be faking coffee or ice cubes, or that woman actually who used to put like 10 pumps of foundation on her face, she came out and she said, I actually wiped some of it off. People like that, if they see that it does well once, will keep on doing it. Just be cautious. Don't take anything too personally. Take it with a grain of salt. You know, is it annoying that people can get really rich off of not being authentic? Yeah, it is. 110% it is. But, you know, I think a lot of people do it. And people are going to start up doing it after I finish this video. Like, people are going to continuously keep on doing it. You just got to have your eyes peeled. There's loads of them out there, and I do find it quite funny how a lot of them are just crawling back to the internet being like, sorry guys, ooh, that was a bit of a crash out, wasn't it? Right, so what was I doing? Because they've just admitted to a lot of the big stuff that they do on their channel is a lie, like baby dumplings. No one's ever gonna, like, people are not gonna trust her ever again. Of course, she does still have a lot of very loyal fans, and it is what it is. The whole channel is built on eating a lot of food, and actually eating that much food to then say that you're not is not a good look. But that's pretty much all I've got to say on this topic of conversation. I hope you guys have a wonderful day wherever you are in this world. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, and I will catch up with you guys in the next video.